You know, in our digital world, the threats are constant. They're always evolving and they never ever sleep. But what if our defenses didn't need to either? Today, we're going to dive into how artificial intelligence is becoming that unsleeping guardian for our cybersecurity, completely revolutionizing how we fight back. And just so we're clear, all of the incredible information we're covering today comes directly from a presentation by Dr. Seho Lee of IGLOO Corporation. He's one of the pioneers in this very field. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll look at why we even need AI in this fight. Then, we're going to demystify a really key term, AI-driven XDR. After that, we get a fascinating peek inside SOAR's real-world AI security system. We'll even look under the hood to see how the AI thinks, before we wrap things up with a look at the future of the human and AI partnership in cybersecurity. Okay, let's get right into it. We're starting at the heart of the problem. Why are the old ways of handling security just not cutting it anymore? It really all boils down to one simple question, but with a super complex answer. Why can't even the most brilliant human teams keep up with the threats anymore? Well, the entire scale of the challenge has just completely changed. Look, security analysts today are facing a perfect storm. They are absolutely drowning in a sea of data and alerts. The attacks themselves are getting way more sophisticated. Our attack surface, that's all the potential weak spots a hacker could target, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And to top it all off, there's a huge global shortage of skilled security experts. It's become a totally impossible situation for people to handle all on their own. So if humans are overwhelmed, what's the answer? Well, this is where a new kind of guardian steps onto the scene. Let's talk about this really powerful concept called AI-driven open XDR. So what on earth is XDR? The easiest way to think about it is like a central nervous system for your security. See, the old way was having separate tools for your laptops, your network, your cloud, and none of them talk to each other. An attacker could just slip through the cracks between them. XDR, or Extended Detection and Response, fixes that by pulling all that data into one place so you can see the entire attack, not just little broken pieces of it. Let's just break that down really quick. The X is for extended, which just means it grabs data from literally everywhere. The D stands for detection, and this is where it uses AI to sift through that mountain of data to find the hidden threats a human would almost certainly miss. And finally, the R is for response, where the system can automatically take action and stop an attack dead in its tracks. But how does that response part actually work so fast? Well, that's where another technology called SOAR comes in. That stands for Security Orchestration, Automation, and Response. Think of SOAR as the system's muscle memory. It runs these automated playbooks, pre-programmed steps to shut down a specific threat, all in a matter of milliseconds. No human has to frantically click through a bunch of screens. All right, theory is one thing, but let's see how this is being put to use in the real world to protect one of the most connected cities on the planet, Seoul. Okay, I know this diagram looks a little busy, but the main takeaway is right there in the middle. You can see how all these different parts of the city's infrastructure, the firewalls, the servers, all of it, are feeding data into one central AI brain. The system uses something called CM to collect the data, and just like we talked about, SOAR to handle those automatic responses. And here is what makes this project so groundbreaking. Seoul is the very first local government to build its own private in-house version of a generative AI, kind of like a ChatGPT, but built specifically for security. It's what's called an on-premise LLM, or a small large language model. By keeping it on their own servers on-premise, they get all the insane analytical power of AI without ever sending sensitive city data out to some third-party cloud. It's maximum power with maximum security. And their plan is seriously ambitious. Right now, they're getting this platform set up. From here, they're just going to keep adding more and more data sources. But the ultimate goal? By 2027, they want to achieve predictive security, using AI to analyze potential attack paths and stop threats before they can even launch. So let's pop the hood for a second. How does the AI at the heart of all this actually work? What really makes it tick? This chart really nails the key innovation. See, the old system on the right had to be taken offline every so often for a data scientist to retrain it. But the new system, SPiDER ExD AI, learns in real time. It uses this really clever algorithm called Robust Random Cut Forest, or RRCF. You can think of it like a security guard who learns on the job. Instead of needing to go back to a training academy every few months, it adapts to new criminal tricks the very moment it sees them. And this is brilliant because it shows you the level of control human analysts still have. They can jump into this interface and fine-tune the AI's settings to perfectly fit their environment. They can tweak things like num_tree, which is the number of trees in the forest, or the sample size, to really customize how the AI spots anomalies. So here's the absolute bottom line. This system learns on the fly. As new data and new threats pop up, the AI adapts instantly. This completely gets rid of that massive bottleneck of having to stop everything, gather a bunch of new data, and have a data scientist manually retrain the entire model from scratch. So with this kind of real-time learning power, what does that mean for the bigger picture? This is where we see that fundamental shift, moving from just reacting to threats to actually predicting them. What you're looking at here is the complete ecosystem. This isn't just one single piece of software. It's a whole unified platform where every single part has a job. You've got SOAR handling the automatic actions, the SPiDER ExD acting as the brain, and all the monitoring tools serving as the eyes and ears, and they're all working together in perfect sync. And the whole purpose is to completely change the game. For decades, cybersecurity has been reactive. We wait for an alarm to go off, and then we scramble to react. The goal of this entire platform is to flip that script, to become predictive, and to start anticipating what the bad guys are going to do next. Naturally, this leads to a pretty big question. If the AI is doing all of this heavy lifting, what happens to the human analysts? And the answer is actually pretty cool. The AI doesn't replace the analyst, it supercharges them. It's about offloading all the tedious work. So instead of being buried in thousands of false alarms, they get to operate on a higher level. They can use models like human in the loop, where the AI suggests a fix, and the human just gives the final okay. This frees them up to do what humans do best: high-level strategy and hunting for those truly creative, brand-new threats. So as the AI defenders get smarter, we know for a fact that AI-powered attackers will too. It really brings us to a fascinating final thought. In this non-stop escalating chess match between attackers and defenders, what does the next great move by the human AI team even look like?
구독과 좋아요를 눌러주시면 지속적인 영상 제작에 큰 힘이 됩니다. Your support really helps us create more explainers just like this one. Thank you for watching.